Army of Thieves is a delightfully airy and entertaining heist romantic comedy. It serves as a prequel to Zack Snyder's zombie action flick Army of the Dead, set in the days when the zombie pandemic has just begun. It follows Ludwig Dieter, known at the time as Sebastian, as he becomes a member of a team of criminals that targets the legendary safes created by master locksmith Hans Wagner. After its release, the film received mixed to positive reviews. Both critics and audience members praised its sleek look, breezy storytelling, and enjoyable plotline. If you watched Army of Thieves and want to know whether there will be a sequel to the film, we got you covered. Army of Thieves sequel release date. Army of Thieves premiered on October 29, 2021 on Novoflix. As mentioned above, Army of Thieves is a sequel to Army of the Dead, which came out in May 2021. Although the two films have little in common thematically, they share characters such as Dieter and certain plot elements. As for the Army of Thieves sequel, this is what we know. Army of the Dead is a sequel to Army of Thieves for all intent and purpose. However, a story can potentially be set between the timelines of the two movies, and it can serve as a thematic sequel to the newer film. It can also take place after Army of the Dead, using once more a global setting. Army of the Dead is a sprawling franchise. A prequel anime titled Army of the Dead, Las Vegas, depicting the past of Scott Ward and the others, is slated to come out in spring 2022. Moreover, a proper sequel to Army of the Dead is currently in development under the title Planet of the Dead. So, while neither the Novoflix executives nor the filmmakers have yet announced that they have plans for a sequel of the latter film, it can potentially happen in the future. Speaking to reporters, actress Natalie Emanuel, who portrays Gwendoline in the film, compared her involvement with this franchise with something like F9, where she is a prominent cast member in multiple films. According to her, while Army of Thieves is a standalone project, there might be an opportunity to make other films depending on how the audience perceives this one. So, if the response is positive, another Army of Thieves movie might receive a go-ahead. And if that happens within the next few months, the audience can expect the Army of Thieves sequel to come out in early 2023. Army of Thieves sequel cast, who can be in it, aside from Emmanuel and Matthias Schweihofer, who directs the movie and reprises his role as Ludwig Dieter or Sebastian. Army of Thieves stars Stuart Martin, Ruby O'Fee, Rolf, Jonathan Cohen, and Nomi Nakai. Moreover, the film's ending comprises scenes from Army of the Dead with additional footage and Dave Bautista and Ana de la Reguera making cameo appearances. The cast of the prospective sequel ultimately depends upon its placement in the overall timeline. If it's before Army of the Dead, Schweihofer will probably appear in it. However, his fate in the first film is left ambiguous. If the sequel is set after Army of the Dead, he might not appear in it except for flashback scenes, confirming that his character is dead. Bautista and Reguera will not appear if the sequel is set after the first film, as their characters are definitely dead. The rest of the cast will probably reprise their roles. Army of Thieves sequel plot. What can it be about? In Army of Thieves, Sebastian successfully opens all three safes, but Karina, Rolf, and Brad are arrested. Gwendoline surrenders to Delacroix after the latter agrees to let Sebastian go. Sebastian moves to the US, begins using the name Ludwig Dieter, and opens the shop Gwendoline's Safe and Lock Co. The film ends as Ward and Cruz come to Dieter with their proposal. The prospective sequel will also likely be a heist film. If Dieter appears in it, his romance with Gwendoline will reignite. The crew might get back to do one more job together. This time, the story will move on from Wagner and focus on some other locksmith. Realizing that the criminals are active again, Delacroix will come after them. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.